this is Ms. Lauren from the Lawrence branch. Toddlers and preschoolers love sensory play. These are basically hands-on activities that help stimulate your child's senses, especially the sense of touch. Today I'm going to show you how you can create 3 different sensory play stations at home. Your kids are going to love these and they're very easy to do. Sensory play is great because it helps develop that fine motor skills by pouring and mixing and touching and all of that. Aside from all the great benefits of sensory play, it's just plain fun. Little kids love all the bright colors and different textures. They like getting really hands-on and it's great for them. It helps develop their imagination and encourages them to play and explore. In my Little Scientist program, I always have rice bins out for the kids to play in, and it's always one of the most popular stations. You are guaranteed to find a group of kids huddled around the bins of colored rice. I always get a lot of questions from parents about how to dye the rice. So today I'm going to show you how to do it, and this project is so great. You can have your kids help you dye the rice. It is super easy, really inexpensive, and the best part is it's reusable. You can put your rice in a bin, put a lid on top of it, put it away till they want to play with it again. So for materials, you obviously need some rice. Depending on the bin that you have, how big of a container you have, you might have to do a few bags of these, but it's quick and easy, I promise. You'll also need vinegar. I brought some vinegar in from home. Very little, it's about a teaspoon per batch that you do. Food coloring, whatever colors you'd like. I also have a measuring cup, and you can use a measuring spoon. I'm just gonna use a regular spoon. It's not exact. You also need a container that can seal, because we're gonna put the rice in there with the dye and vinegar and shake it up. And you also need some place for your rice to dry. I usually dry it overnight, but you can check it after a couple hours. Most likely it'll be pretty dry and you can play with it. But I'm just using baking sheets with some paper towels on top. So we're gonna start with our container, and we're gonna add 1 cup of our rice. I like to work in batches, so each batch will be a different color, and then you can just reuse the same container. I don't even wash it out, and do the next batch. After that, we're gonna add about a teaspoon of vinegar and then a few drops of food coloring. You can always mix up the colors to make other colors. I'm just gonna do some red here. Then we are going to seal it and shake it until the dye is evenly distributed throughout the rice. This is a great part that your kiddos can help you with. My kids love doing this. Then we just pour it out onto our baking sheet with a paper towel and leave it out there to let it dry. And here's our final product. So what I do after it dries overnight is just put it all in a big bin, then add lots of fun stuff for kids to play with. Basically things you'd see in a sandbox: shovels and cups, measuring cups, spoons. I have lots of little blocks, lots of stuff in there for the kids to play with. In our Little Scientist program, it's also a great way for kids to learn how to share. The next sensory idea I'm going to show you is called a sticky table or a sticky window. I use this a lot in my Little Scientist program because you can use it to fit any theme. If you want to teach your child colors, numbers, shapes, or different types of science, it's really great for that because you can customize it to whatever you want it to be. It's also very cheap, which is great. The end result is very visual, so it's appealing to your sense of sight, and it's also very hands-on. Let me show you how. So the materials that you need are very simple for this. First of all, you need clear contact paper. I like to get this from the Dollar Tree because it's cheap and it works perfectly. What you're gonna end up doing is cutting a piece to either fit your table or to put on a window, and you're going to do it the other side so that the sticky side is facing out towards you. Now, depending on what you want to teach your kid or what you have at home, here's some things that you could use. You could use different color pom-poms, you could use cotton balls. If you are working with colors, tissue paper works really great. It actually looks like a stained glass window when you're finished. You could also make it more specialized. So when we're in autumn and doing the life cycle of a pumpkin, I cut out pieces of felt. Felt is great, it works great on a sticky table, and the great thing is that you can pull it back up and save them for another time. So we have pumpkins and vines and pumpkin seeds, and we can stick them all there, rearrange it, take them all off, do it again. Let me show you a few different examples of what you can do. So to create a sticky window, you're gonna take your clear contact paper and peel the back. So once I peel it away, what I'm gonna do is start to tape it to my window. So I just tape the ends. You just wanna make sure that the sticky side is facing you, and now the kids can have fun. One thing that you could do is create rainbow art. This is just a coloring sheet of rainbow with some clouds. You can place that right behind and then do the different colors for each stripe. There you go. Once you fill it all in, which I have not done yet, but once you fill it all in, you can take this off, keep this displayed in your house. If you'd like, you could place another piece of clear contact paper on top to make it sealed on both sides. But this is one idea that you can do. You can also use pom-poms so your kids can create different designs, different shapes, whatever they want to. It all sticks up there. And the great thing about these is that they come right off. So you could, I don't generally reuse this because it does lose its stickiness, but any of the props that you use, you can save them and then just put up a new piece of contact paper and do it again. Another option is to put your contact paper on a table. This is making our sticky table. Now for this, I like to use different themes. So in the spring when we do garden science or learn about how flowers grow, I cut pieces out of felt or use other things like yarn, seeds, whatever I have around. So we can talk about how you start with a seed and then we have roots that go down. The stem goes up, we can have some leaves on top of there, and then we bloom into a flower. So this is really great. The kids can have fun just creating. Little ones can learn about different colors. You have a lot of different options with this. So for our last sensory play station, we are gonna make foam. I found this recipe from the book Goo Makers by Kelly Milner Halls. You can place this book on hold and get it from our library if you'd like. This is called Rainbow Fun Foam, and let me show you what you need for it. So we're gonna use a hand mixer and a bowl to mix it up in. We also need some food coloring, some dish soap, and some water. So we're gonna place everything in this bowl and then use our mixer to mix it up. So first we're gonna put in 2 tablespoons of dish soap. And then add, a 1/4 cup of bottled water. It specifically says to use bottled water. Now I'm gonna add a couple drops of food coloring. Just remember, this food coloring may stain. If you don't want staining, you could also use any type of like liquid watercolor. That would work as well. Now it says to mix on high for 1 to 2 minutes. Great. So you're done mixing your foam when you can get stiff peaks with your mixer. So this looks pretty good. So what you could do is put this in a big pan or a dish. You could use a cake pan, and you could do more batches if you want to make lots of other colors. But the fun thing about this, it's very fun to play with though. It's a little messy, so it might be fun outside, but it's just soap and food coloring and water. It's really great. It feels really neat. Kids would love this. You could play with little figures in it if you have like dinosaur figures or any of their favorite characters. You could even play hide and seek and hide them in there and have your little one try to find it. But yeah, this is really cool. Thanks for joining me today, guys. I'll see you next time. Bye.